What happens if Jimmy G gets injured next year?
Oh my God!
Blows another ACL out.
I know where you're going with this.
Not only are we on the hook for $27 million this year, we're on the hook for next year's.
Is that how it works?
If he makes the roster and he's injured, an ACL, let's say he blows it out in week 8, week 9, somewhere in there, or any kind of injury, the Alex Smith injury
that lingers.
Yes, we're on hook for his entire contract.
If he is that like if he can't pass a physical next April?
Pass a physical, and if you're on the IR, you ain't passing physical.
If I remember correctly, that's a little bit what went on with Colin Kaepernick at the end. The way I remember it was everyone at his last year on the Niners, he was coming off a bunch of surgeries, and everyone said, well, that's the reason why he was backing up Gabbert at first. But I think what was going on was he had that injury guarantee, and he knew that they could cut him and he wouldn't get the same amount of money on the open market. So what the organization felt was that he timed the surgeries in such a way that he couldn't pass a physical and they couldn't cut him. I think that's what they felt.
I'm hurt,
Yeah, I'm going to have a surgery in February. I'm going to have a surgery in February to clean something up. It's my labrum. It's just so that's like, okay, well, now you definitely are not going to pass a physical in April.
That's why Jed, John, and Cal better listen up. If they don't get him off before preseason or right after preseason starts, they're going to be on the hook for the entire contract.
Very dangerous. But here's the thing. They know it. They got to know it because they went through this with Colin Kaepernick. They have Prog Marath, and they're very good at making money and saving money.
I mean, didn't we just go through with D Ford and Weston Richburg? We owed them pretty much their whole contract, even though we reworked it and stuff like that. We're still on the hook for a lot of money with D Ford, and he's here 2 years, whether we like it or not still.
See, that's why to me, I still do not buy that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play a regular season game with this team this year. Now, they got to showcase him. I think they would like to trade him before the preseason starts. I think they're hoping that some quarterback gets hurt. Like the Sam Bradford, Teddy Bridgewater situation from 5 years ago when the Eagles drafted Carson Wentz, same school as this guy. They also had Sam Bradford. They got to trade Bradford right away.
Let's say you're the GM. What's more important to you, a second-round pick that you can get or $50 million in cap that you can get?
$50 million. And again, if you're willing to trade him for like a 4th-round pick, I think you could probably do that.
Oh, you could have got that weeks ago.
You probably could get the mid-round pick right now. I think they're hoping that if they showcase him, if he gets some positive reports, if he has one good preseason game, if some team's desperate because their quarterback got hurt, then the price could go up. And I think they're saying is like, well, what's the rush? Why don't we just take this to the deadline?
He plays one down and he gets injured, and he's very injury prone. I'd say there's probably a 60 or 70% shot he's going to get injured next year.
It could happen in preseason.
It can happen in camp.
Time, yeah.
Yes, I mean,
it could.
You look at
they're waiting for a quarterback to get hurt.
On the hook for.
They're waiting for a quarterback to get hurt so they can ship Jimmy Garoppolo out there. The quarterback who's most likely to get hurt is Jimmy.
Put Jimmy on the bench. Don't let him practice. Wait for another quarterback to get hurt then.
Yeah, good point. And I just got to be careful here. You don't want to lock into this.
I'm afraid we're going to be on the hook for that full $50 million or whatever it is, $52, $53 million, whatever we owe him. We're going to end up owing him the entire amount because if he gets injured and it's bad enough, it will carry over into next season. And once the league year starts, if he's on there, we owe it to him.
Yeah. And again, like you can always have surgery in February on whatever you want. Be like, you know what? This has been bothering me for years. My knee, I got to clean up. My high ankle never really sprained. I mean, that to me, I think is what Kaepernick did. He had 3 surgeries. And I feel like some of them, they were like, oh, you needed the surgery. Like Kittle has been playing with injuries he doesn't have off-season surgery because he never wants to have to rehab and not work out. But he could do that whenever he wanted if he felt he was going to get cut or something like that.
I mean, for $25 million, would you have a little cleanup?
Yes, I would. There's no question. Because for Jimmy,
he's not getting it again.
He needs to keep this contract going, right? If he gets cut or moved, he's only going to take a pay cut. So I'm not saying he's going to fake an injury. I'm just saying it is definitely in his.
I wouldn't put it past him because he could have played last year and didn't want to come back.
Well, this is a whole different thing that we're talking about here. Him having surgery in the offseason to stay on. But it's something that players have done in the past. It's something the Niners have to be cognizant of. They got to be cognizant of it here. It's putting him on the field is very risky in a lot of ways. It's a good point.
Second round pick or $50 million? I put him on the bench and don't let him move.
Just take the 4th round pick and be happy. Take it.
Just cut him. I'd rather just cut.
Well, you could get a 4th round pick for him. Take it.
Yeah, whatever. But
whatever. Yeah.
It's a $50 million risk is what we're doing.
That's what I'm saying.
And what if we lose the $50 million? How do we keep our star linebacker?
It's true. It's true.
You know, you can only push money back so far in that cap situation before you're in cap hell. So
that's true.
You know. All right, you have a nice day. And
you too, Michael.
You know, being that the Niners are watching now, like Jimmy Ward and stuff, I hope they hear us. You know,
I hope so. I think they do. I still think that the Niners are just trying to showcase him. I really want to give him the benefit of the doubt here and say that they're just trying to showcase him, but he's not going to be on this team week 1. We'll see.
I pray to God you're right.